Welcome to Mr. Levin's Rock Whisperer, Unit 2-4, and we're going to go over quickly how to use the reference table, pages 2 through 5. So, page 2 in your reference table is the generalized landscape region of New York State. So this shows you the generalized landscape regions. We should be familiar with the Adirondack Mountains. We should know about the Mohawk, Hudson, Lowlands area. And we have a variety of other locations that are listed on here. We have the New England Providence, we have the Hudson Highland, the Manhattan Prong, and as we get to the bottom, it talks about the major geologic province boundaries, landscape regions, state boundaries, and international boundaries, because we have Canada also. Down here, they give a scale in both miles and in kilometers, and they have subdivisions. And of course, we always have our key showing you where north is. This particular map is called the generalized bedrock of New York State, but there's a lot more information than that. And we'll go through some activities in class also. So we know, based on our previous video, that we measure from north to south, and we know that in this particular map, because down here on the bottom we have our compass again, same as the other one, we have a scale. But our north to south are our latitude lines. So we have some latitude numbers for our latitude lines. On the top of New York State is 45. We have 44 is marked here. We have 43, and we have 42. And we can continue on down the map, and we can see our bottom one here is 40 degrees and 30 minutes. In here is 41. At the half intervals, they're not labeled, there's just a little hatcher line or a mark there for the 30 minutes. So we can see that we have latitudes in New York State that range from 40 all the way up to 45 degrees. We'll do this in a different color. We also have longitude lines, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and here's 79, 30 is right here, 79 degrees and 30 minutes, so almost to 80 degrees. So we need to know that in New York State that our longitude is from 73 degrees to, and we're going to say to 80 degrees, and we are west longitude. And we should know that our latitude goes from approximately 40 degrees, 30 minutes, and it goes to the north end at being 45 degrees, and those are north. You need to know these numbers because they'll ask you questions about New York State on the regions, and they're really good to know that you need to be in those particular ranges. So that besides having the numbers on the top, they also have the numbers listed on the bottom. Besides being on the right, they kind of follow down through the lake on this particular side. So realistically, you could pencil in some really light lines to make a grid. What this map also is good for, and we'll do an activity called Where's Waldo, it shows you all of the different cities. So it might ask you where Mount Marcy is, that's up in the Adirondacks. Maybe where Plattsburgh is, Watertown, Oswego, down here is Elmira and Binghamton. And if you don't know, we should know, here's Albany. If we come up a little bit to the north, and we have Saratoga Lake. We're in the foothills of the Adirondacks here, a little bit north of the Mohawk River. Galway is approximately in this area. So we are to the north and we are to the west of Albany. There's a variety of other places that are listed on here too. We have Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. It gives the elevations of those and gives some other states. Now if you go back to what I originally said, generalized bedrock, we see a variety of different symbols, and those symbols relate to this particular chart down here. Now there's one of two ways of looking at this. You can look at it's just generally sedimentary rocks. We've got metamorphic rocks, or they call some of them intensely metamorphosed. We can be more specific, and we can look at the actual types of rocks that correlate to the different key indicators that go back to the map. So a lot of information on this. Right now we're going to use this information primarily for latitude and longitude. This map is the surface ocean current map. And what's good about this map is it gives us some information that we will need to possibly know for some questions. So we should know our equator is 0. But it gives us our Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn in case we ever forget what those are. And I like to remember them by alphabetical order. Cancer is higher, Capricorn is lower. So if we go from high to low, we'd be able to see that. Arctic Circle is up high, 66.5 degrees. And if we scroll down just a tad bit here, we have the Antarctic Circle, which is 66.5 degrees south. So we can see those two different things, and we have these different items that are already labeled for us. One of the things you need to be careful of is that this does not go to the North Pole. So it's not going all the way to 90 degrees. And the same thing on this map. We should know that the North Pole is going to be equal to 90 degrees north, and if we are on the South Pole, that is equal to 90 degrees south. Notice right here, they only go to 70 degrees. So if they ask you what the North Pole is, you need to know it's 90. The maps here do not show you that it goes all the way to the North Pole. They're only going up to 70, just a little bit north of the Arctic Circle. And you can see here that it's kind of cut off at the top. So just be aware of that when you're looking for some information.